Look up. Right now, on a clear night, you can see it. A bright, steady dot in the sky. No blinking, no flickering. Just a cold, silent light staring back at you. That's Jupiter, the biggest thing in our solar system that never became a star. And for the last few seconds, you've been staring at it like it's harmless. It isn't. Here's what nobody tells you. Jupiter doesn't have a surface. There's no ground to hit, no floor to crash into. It's just atmosphere, going down, and down, and down. Layer after layer of gas turning into liquid, turning into something that doesn't even have a name in normal physics. A place where the rules you learned in school quietly stop applying. Now here's the scenario. You're falling, not in a ship, not in a suit rated for deep space, just you. Maybe the ship broke. Maybe you made the worst wrong turn in human history. It doesn't matter. What matters is this. You are 80 kilometers above Jupiter's cloud tops. You are accelerating at terrifying speed, and you have approximately 60 seconds before the planet is completely done with you. 60 seconds. From up here, it almost looks beautiful. Bands of orange and cream stretching across the horizon like a painting. Massive storm systems the size of continents swirling in slow, hypnotic spirals. If you didn't know what was waiting inside, you might even feel peaceful. But you're going in. And Jupiter has been doing this for 4.5 billion years, pulling things in and never, ever giving them back. In the next few minutes, we are going to walk through every single second of that fall. Not the movie version, not the sanitized, it would be very cold version you read in a textbook. The real version. What the physics actually does to a human body. Tissue by tissue, bone by bone, breath by breath. Before we cross this cloud line and see what the first 20 seconds actually feel like from the inside, make sure you're subscribed to Silent Threat. Because once we go in together, you're going to want someone with you for what comes next. Take a breath. It's the last comfortable one you're going to take for a while. Second 0. You just hit the cloud tops, and the first thing that strikes you isn't the cold, isn't the wind. It's the smell. If you could breathe here, which you can't, the air would hit your lungs like a cocktail of ammonia and rotten eggs, so thick it would burn your throat before you processed a single thought. But your lungs aren't the problem yet. So right now, the problem is the wind. Jupiter's upper atmosphere moves at 600 kilometers per hour. Not a storm. That's just Tuesday for this planet. The moment you enter, it's not like falling through air anymore. It's like being thrown sideways by a freight train that never stops. Your body gets slammed, rotated, stretched in 3 directions at once. Any loose gear, any exposed skin, gone in seconds, sand blasted into nothing by ice crystals the size of needles moving faster than a bullet. But you're still alive. Barely. And you're still falling. By second 10, the temperature starts doing something cruel. Up at the cloud tops, it's around minus 145 degrees Celsius. Cold enough to freeze your blood solid in under a minute. But Jupiter is strange. The deeper you fall, the hotter it gets. So within seconds, you go from freezing to burning. Your skin doesn't know which way to fail first. It starts doing both. This is the ammonia layer. A thick, churning ceiling of frozen ammonia crystals that blocks every trace of sunlight from reaching below. From the outside, this is the beautiful painted surface everyone photographs. From the inside, it's a blizzard of toxic ice moving sideways at hurricane force, and visibility is absolute zero. You can't see your own hands. By second 15, something changes in your chest. The pressure, which felt like a strong wind just moments ago, now feels like someone placed a car on your ribcage. Not a crash, not a sudden impact, just slow, patient, inevitable weight. Your lungs are working twice as hard to pull in air that is already poisonous. And then you cross into the second layer. The ammonia water clouds. Thicker, darker, warmer. Your body registers it immediately. A pressure shift so sudden it feels like the planet just grabbed you. You've been falling for 20 seconds. You're still alive. But you just entered the layer where the pressure stops being something you feel and starts being something that makes decisions for your body. And your body doesn't get a vote. Second 21. There is a number that physicists use when they talk about Jupiter's deep atmosphere. That number is 10. As in, 10 times the atmospheric pressure of Earth. That's what the Galileo probe, the only human-made object we've ever sent into Jupiter, recorded before it went silent forever. 10 times. That's what crushed a machine built specifically to survive it. You are not a machine. And the pressure around you right now isn't 10 times Earth's. It isn't 50. By second 25, you are sinking through layers where the pressure is closing in on 100 atmospheres. Picture this. Take every drop of water in 3 of Earth's oceans, stack them all above your head, and let them press down on your shoulders at once. That is the weight your body is trying to negotiate right now, and it is losing. The first thing to go is your ears. Not dramatically. There's no pop, no explosion. They simply compress. The tiny bones inside your inner ear, the most delicate structures in the human body, fold inward like wet paper. Balance becomes meaningless. Up and down stop being real directions. You are tumbling in total darkness, in poisonous heat, with no horizon and no reference point. And every cubic centimeter of your body is being squeezed from every side simultaneously. Then your lungs file their resignation. At this pressure, breathing stops being a choice your muscles make. The atmosphere outside your chest is now so dense and so heavy that your diaphragm, the muscle that pulls your lungs open, can no longer win the fight. It pushes. The atmosphere pushes back harder. Your last breath sits trapped inside you like a stone. Your ribs begin to bend inward, not break. Bend. Slowly. Millimeter by millimeter. And here is the moment, second 30, where medicine and physics agree on something brutal. This is the point of no return. Not because of what has already happened, but because of what is directly below you, waiting with complete patience. Before we go past this line, past the place where even atoms start behaving differently, make sure you're subscribed to Silent Threat. What happens in the next 30 seconds is something most space channels won't touch. Because the physics gets strange, and the horror gets very, very quiet. Are you still with me? Good. Keep falling. Second 40. You don't have a shape anymore. That's not a metaphor. That's not poetic language to make this sound scarier than it is. At this depth, the pressure has done something that no force on Earth's surface can replicate outside of a laboratory. It has compressed your body into something unrecognizable. The human silhouette, the shoulders, the ribcage, the skull, none of it holds its geometry down here. Soft tissue went first, then cartilage, then the spaces between your bones simply closed. But here is the part that should disturb you most. Your cells are still trying. At a microscopic level, the biological machinery inside you hasn't gotten the memo yet. Neurons are still firing. Cells are still attempting to exchange oxygen they no longer have, through membranes that no longer have room to flex, in a body that no longer has a recognizable structure. Life is stubborn. Embarrassingly, tragically stubborn. It keeps running the program even when the hardware is completely gone. By second 45, the temperature has climbed past 150 degrees Celsius, hot enough to cook meat through in minutes. But pressure does something strange to heat down here. It doesn't behave the way your kitchen oven does. The molecules are packed so tightly together that heat has nowhere to radiate. It just builds and concentrates. The remnants of what you were are being simultaneously crushed and slow cooked from every direction, in perfect, suffocating darkness. And then, second 50, you hit it. The boundary. Scientists call it the metallic hydrogen layer, and the word metallic should stop you cold, because hydrogen is a gas. The lightest, simplest gas in the universe. The stuff inside party balloons. But squeeze it hard enough, crush it under pressures so savage that the electrons are ripped completely free from their atoms, and it stops being a gas. It stops being a liquid. It becomes something that conducts electricity like a metal, flows like a fluid, and exists in a state that has no equivalent anywhere on Earth's surface. You are entering an ocean that shouldn't exist. An ocean made of something that shouldn't be possible. And the pieces of you that are still descending, the atoms, the raw matter, the last trace of everything you were, are about to be swallowed by it completely. 5 seconds left. What happens next is something physicists argue about in hushed tones at conferences. Because the deeper you go into that metallic ocean, the stranger the rules get. And some of those physicists think that what waits at the very bottom of Jupiter isn't just pressure, isn't just heat. It might be something stranger than either. Second 55. There is no explosion, no final dramatic moment, no darkness that suddenly swallows everything like a movie cut to black. That's not how Jupiter works. Jupiter doesn't finish you. Jupiter accepts you. And that distinction should haunt you for the rest of your life. Here is what the physics actually says about those last 5 seconds. The atoms that once formed your bones, your blood, your brain, every thought you ever had, every memory stored in the folds of your gray matter, those atoms don't disappear. Matter doesn't disappear. They get pulled deeper into the metallic hydrogen ocean, stripped of every molecular bond that once held them in the specific arrangement that made you you, and they get incorporated, absorbed, recycled into the body of the largest planet in our solar system. You don't die inside Jupiter. You become Jupiter. A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of its total mass, invisible, unmeasurable, impossible to locate. But there, permanently. Because Jupiter holds everything it takes in. In 4.5 billion years of existence, this planet has swallowed comets, asteroids, and in 1994, sees an entire comet chain called Shoemaker-Levy 9, 21 separate impacts over 6 days, each one releasing more energy than every nuclear weapon on Earth combined. Jupiter absorbed all of it, didn't flinch. Barely left a scar. It would do the same with you before the clock hit 60. And here is the final thought I want to leave inside your head tonight. The one that tends to stick around long after you close this video and try to go to sleep. Every atom in your body was forged inside a dying star billions of years ago. They traveled across incomprehensible distances, assembled themselves into oceans, into single-cell organisms, into every living thing that ever existed on Earth, and eventually into you. You are ancient, cosmic material wearing a human costume for an impossibly brief moment in time. And Jupiter would simply reclaim them. No ceremony, no acknowledgement, just gravity doing what gravity has always done. You survived Jupiter, this time. But the universe has something far worse waiting. A place where the ground itself is made of acid clouds, the rain is liquid metal, and the surface temperature never drops below 460 degrees. Click the video on your screen right now to find out why no spacecraft we've ever sent to Venus has lasted longer than 2 hours. I'll see you in the dark.